Well, you were referring to the anode part of the battery, but on the cathode side, that's materials like lithium, cobalt, nickel. We've seen general oversupply of those markets, and it will continue to be like that for several years to come as well. So prices have come down quite sharply. Lithium carbonate in China down 68%, sulfate, cobalt sulfate down 23% this year so far. There is a significant oversupply in those markets when compared to every other commodity, really.
Go through this. Anode is the negative or reducing electrode that releases electrons in the external circuit. The cathode is the positive or oxidizing electrode. I mean, that's great, and that's as far as I can go on the science side of it, but trust me, it really is. But in terms of what this means for the prices net of the production of these vehicles, is there a net balancing effect with the anode tightness and the cathode oversupply? How does it work, Martin?
So the most valuable part of the battery by a long way is the cathode side of things, especially over the last couple of years with lithium prices touching above $80,000 last year. It is going to take a long time for those lower prices to roll through to battery manufacturers. But we are seeing the prices of raw materials as a whole for the battery reduce drastically for battery manufacturers.
Just looking at some of the biggest importers of this graphite product, the US, South Korea and Poland. As we talk about the restrictions here from the Chinese, what sort of impact does that have on the EV market in these countries?
Look, it is quite significant. Around 45 to 65 kilograms of graphite are used in a typical vehicle. So it will be difficult to get hold of that material, which China controls so much of. We estimate around 91% of anode active material is produced in China, and of the natural graphite market, around 2/3 of that is produced in China too. So it is going to make getting hold of materials quite a lot more difficult. But this is not an all-out ban on material exports. We are likely to see permits granted for some producers to export material like we have seen in the gallium and germanium market. So it's not a complete restriction on trade, just a control of the industry.
To your point around gallium and germanium, those restrictions, what have they done to pricing? Because we know at this point graphite has been in decline, 30% drop since the start of the year. And there is a view that if there's a supply restriction here, it could actually reverse some of those falls and shoot up prices. Do you think there is any playbook for that based on the other restrictions we've seen around products?
Certainly. So we saw in the gallium and germanium market a huge influx of orders for the following month, and in Europe now prices are trading at around $450 per kg. That's almost double what they were 3 months ago, so quite a significant increase in prices for that market, and we're likely to see something similar happen to the graphite market as well ahead of that December ban.
Martin